Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Shad. This interesting, wonderful Sunday. uh, it's cold. It's wet. It's fine. We have food. We have water. We have heat. We are content. Tell you about those who were not happy and fine and content. Those Americans that were trapped in Afghanistan left there by Trader Joe and his malicious/incompetent regime. At least we forget that 13 servicemen and women died at Abbey Gate in Kabul, Afghanistan, along with 200 other poor souls. 300 plus people lost arms and legs and limbs, things that don't grow back. A lot of them were service members as well. Every day, never forget, and never forget whose fault this is. But there was hope. Folks getting them out. Task Force Argo, Task Force Pineapple, Project Exodus, Project Download Christian Coalition, Mighty Oak Foundation. Just name a few. At least we forget that there are 200 plus individuals still incarcerated over the J6 debacle. I'm cooking. Just reached temperature. Held there as political prisoners against their will, without bail, without sentencing, awaiting sentencing. Yeah. They're given a deal, a offer, a plea, or an offer, if you will, an offer. Yeah, let's say an offer. That if they are willing to testify that the Trumpster made them do it, then they will be given special treatment, reduced sentences, or set free. In defiance, these political prisoners make a phone call to their family and loved ones and sing at the top of their lungs the national anthem in prison. Every day, never forget, and never forget whose fault this is. But there's hope. There's hope. There's folks getting them out. There's folks fighting for them. They themselves are fighting. Thousands of people, family, friends, loved ones, charitable organizations, lawyer firms doing pro bono work, even some senators, representatives, and congressmen, all trying to help against a tyrannical DOJ, a tyrannical regime DOJ that cares nothing for their cries, their redress of grievances, the injustice of the justice system. But yeah, thousands of people sending care packages, dealing with the displaced families. 200 plus people being incarcerated over years. Think about the families and what they have to do. All these people that were arrested were breadwinners. That's all gone. Every day they carry on. Meanwhile, you already know what's going on. Meanwhile, there's so much footage going on about Israel and the surprise attack of the Palestinian people. Their main goal, extremely fanatical, absolutely fanatical. They teach their kids to hate and to grow up and hopefully kill Israelis one day. Yeah. Now the Israelis have tolerated the Gaza Strip, the Palestinians, because of pressure being put on them by the rest of the world. Hey, you need to do the right thing. These are people too, right? Yeah, where's your love? Where's your concern for their well-being? And so Israel has like entertained this notion for decades. That okay, well, all right, fine. We'll let them build apartments, complexes, and homes, and we'll even provide electricity and gas, and we'll let them work in our cities, and if they truly vetted, we'll let them do things. Sure, you want to be a part of this society? Great. Here you go. Here's your chance. But they always attack. PLA, the Palestinian Liberation Army, they always attack. Always. They set and wait and plan and prepare and swell their numbers. It's a ghetto. Absolute ghetto on the Palestinian side. It's because they want it to be. All they want to do is make babies, make soldiers against the Israelis. Absolutely fundamental, multi-generational fundamentalist. And yeah, they're backed by Iran, Hezbollah. Interesting that they called out to they do this every time. They called out to the rest of the Muslim world to, attack Israel now. We've got them on the run. No, I mean, what yes, it was shocking. 5,000 rockets. The dome did malfunction, and the rockets started just randomly flying in the air. A glitch, maybe sabotage, maybe, I don't know. But the Iron Dome is old, antiquated. This glitch, this malfunction, allowed for about 2,200 rockets to make it through the Iron Dome. Iron Dome. Yeah. And then, of course, the infiltration of the PLA through gliders, powered gliders, literally driving trucks through barricades. They also took advantage of a holiday called Yom Kippur, where a lot of the IDF, I usually call them the IMF, Israeli Military Force, but it's Israeli Defense Force, I guess. IDF, they were on leave, with their families and just hanging out. So a lot of the outposts and depots and things like that were just skeleton crews. Those unfortunate individuals that had to stand watch, while the rest of everyone goes out to spend time with their families. I know that well. Been there, done that. Yeah, it sucks, but it's duty. Yeah, and they do it. So yeah, the PLA took advantage of that. They also had jet skis, and they came in from the water. They drove. The troubling one was that they drove through the cities, through some of these border cities, like see if I can say this, Sidorat. I don't know if they trill Sidorat, and they just drove in, whole bunch of people with machine guns and started just indiscriminately shooting everybody, going door to door, taking prisoners, taking hostages. They took a general. They took a lot of women. I don't have to tell you what's going on there. Took them as hostages, took them back to the Gaza Strip, like, hey, you can't bomb us now. Haha, we got hostages. And of course, Israeli is like, well, we don't care. We're going to level it anyway. So, yeah, and I found this interesting. Well, that they do have guns. A majority of the Israeli population are active military, but they have strict rules and guidelines of how they're supposed to have their weapons. Like they carry them around, but the ammunition has to be elsewhere or locked up, or it's in the armory or something. One of the two, I don't know. But I didn't hear or see of any of the population fighting back which was the point of having weapons on them at all times. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. And yes, they commandeered vehicles and took it back to the took it back to their stronghold. Stronghold. And so, yeah, they're the PLA is just going to be doing their thing. They planned a lot for this. They planned for a long time, and they working out this plan. And you have to say that Potato created this. Potato and Barry, they unlocked a lot of money for Iran. They the sanctions. You heard about these sanctions that are going on, and that was to stop Iran from just giving money to these terrorist organizations, to these proxy forces like the PLA. And the PLA is sent out. They do this every time. They send out a call to arms, if you will. Come destroy Israel, all of you, all the Muslim world. And a lot of them are like, no, no. You're on your own, buddy. The Taliban has says, hey, we'll fight. Hey, we'll show up and fight. And so they asked permission from all the surrounding countries that they're not friends with if they could peacefully pass through their country in a convoy to go fight Israel. That ain't going to work. Unless Israel allows it, unless the countries allow it, unless the rest of the world allows it. At the moment, Israel has declared war. They have declared war. They're on a war footing now. So they're mobilized, and that's a war machine that is hard to stop. And they have the backing and the resources of the Western world, UN, NATO, but they don't need it so far. They don't need it so much. They've got their own stuff, and they've been, their industry, their war industry, has been providing for the rest of the world for a very long time. So the Israeli war machine is now geared up and running, and the only thing that works on them is obviously little surprise attacks like this. The last PLA attack, you remember, they dug tunnels. They took years to dig fucking tunnels into Israel itself. This, of course, is the biggest one since 1973 or whatever. They disturbed and poked a hornet's nest on that one. So and make no mistake, Israel is going to level the Gaza Strip. They're just going to level it, and it's going to be a gross display of power and high explosive ordnance. They're just going to level everything. They've already told them, get out. We're going to send in the tanks. We're going to send in the airstrikes, and then we're going to send in the bulldozers. So if you're still there, sorry. Yeah. They are negotiating to get the hostages back. And, of course, trying to, do their whole sneaky hostage rescues, which might or might not work. My heart goes out to those people. They're saying over 600 people were killed or injured. I don't know. There's so many reports coming in. And, could be true, could be not. But that's what the world's looking at right now, is the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Could this be the biblical war that creates the apocalypse? Summons in the apocalypse and all that. I don't know. I'm not really. I don't know. We'll see. But we do know that this is a war. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Epic night last night. Trial by X. Thank you all that showed up and hung out and played. Epic night. Yeah. Jorge did not fare well. Sorry, Jorge. Yeah. So, go Team Linda. Go Team Linda. Fuck cancer. She's kicking ass, taking names. She's doing her last round of chemo, hopefully. And so she is kicking ass, taking names, and getting stronger by the day, killing cancer. Go Team Baby Harper. Go Team Baby Harper. Still on a ventilator, in ICU, but getting stronger by the day and soon to be out of ICU. So your thoughts and prayers are working, indeed, and they're never die, never quit, never say die, never quit spirit. So this has been Mad Shad. Every day, never forget.